Hello, this is Captain Jonathan Welch from AMC Headquarters A4TC Air Cargo Movement Policy. Today is March the 5th, 2017. This briefing is on the West Coast Port Workload Analysis. This briefing is unclassified. This study was conducted as a response to the East Coast Port Workload Analysis between Dover and McGuire when we discovered it was not proportional to the port capacity. The East Coast cargo realignment was complete on 17 January 2017, with the first channel being flown out of Dover on 1 February 2017. This briefing is about the same research which is conducted on the West Coast, in which we collected data to verify aerial port posturing and utilization. This is the 10-year history of cargo movement off of the West Coast. In purple and green are the Travis originating channel and contingency tonnage respectively in short tons per month, and in red and blue is the originating McCord channel and contingency missions in short tons per month. As you can see, there have been no significant highlights or lowlights in the past 10-year history, with the exceptions of small peaks which occur regularly every summer during the summer PCS season. The next question would be, based on outbound cargo, what workload is actually being conducted on the inbound leg as well? The 10-year retrograde shows similar data to the 10-year channel and contingency outbound cargo slide. Again, in purple and in green are the Travis channels and contingency missions respectively, and in red and blue are the McCord channel and contingency missions respectively. There are the similar peaks occurring every summer during summer PCS season as household goods are retrograded back to the United States. However, the average cargo workload per month is approximately 1,200 short tons per month for the entire West Coast. If we eliminate the contingency workload, we find that the channel workload is slightly smaller and contains most of the large peaks shown on the previous slide. These peaks are household goods movements during the summer, and the information highlighted here shows that there's less than, on average, 1,000 tons per month being retrograded onto the West Coast. The next question would be is to determine how much each base should get in retrograde workload. The Travis terminal is only 1.3 times the size of the McCord terminal in regards to square footage. However, the pallet loading capacity is greater at Travis due to the channel missions positioned there. The TACC planning factor for daily port inbound and outbound limits in tonnage is the same for both locations. Based on this, we are interested in knowing how much work goes through each location. In regards to tonnage, as we can see, there's an 85-15 relationship in regards to the work that comes through Travis and McCord, respectively. However, for every aircraft that launches out of each station, there is a fixed amount of work from the aerial port that goes into handling the aircraft, fleet servicing, and cargo preparation. Regardless if 1 pallet or 6 pallets is loaded, the same amount of effort is conducted in order to open the aircraft, spot loaders up to it, and configure the aircraft for loading. Therefore, we are interested in knowing the total number of launches from each location, as it would be more commensurate to the amount of work which is being conducted by each port. Similar to the East Coast, we see that there is a 1/3 and 2/3 relationship for workload between the two locations. This is ideal despite the fact that Travis has the main channel missions outbound into the Pacific, as McCord is still launching approximately 37% of the missions from the West Coast. What we are interested in diving into next is the tonnage coming out of each location. The chart on the left shows that Travis's tonnage is primarily channel missions, whereas McCord's tonnage comes from contingency and SAM airlifts. However, again, as tonnage is not the primary measure that we are reflecting, we are more interested in mission totals coming out of each location. For each of these stations, we are surprised to see that there is almost the exact same number of contingency and SAM missions launching from each location. For contingency missions, we are within 100 missions of each other, with 4,000 total being launched over the course of the past 10 years. For SAM missions, we are within 50 missions of each other, with 2,400 missions being launched out of each location over the course of the past 10 years. Also with exercise missions, we are within 20 missions of each other, with approximately 130 missions being launched out of each location over the course of the past 10 years. The significant difference is the number of channel missions being launched from each location. If we combine these charts, we can see that the tonnage, as expected, is primarily channel missions launching out of Travis. However, if we combined the previous slide to show the total missions by type, we can see what we really intended to highlight during the course of this study, with the red and the orange being the respective contingency missions, and the purple and the dark maroon being the respective SAM missions out of each location. These wedges are almost the same as each other, showing us that there is an almost 50-50 workload balance between Travis and McCord with regards to total aircraft touches. The exception being Travis having more channel work, as they are the exclusive owners of the Pacific Channel. To summarize, what we wanted to highlight is the difference between an 85 and 15 tonnage disparity is significantly compensated for by the 63-37% total aircraft launches out of each location. This relationship shows us that there is an appropriate balance between the two locations in regards to missions launched, resulting in this chart, which shows us that there are almost exactly the same amount of contingency, SAM, and exercise missions being launched out of each location. What the savings could potentially come through the use of retrograde cargo. What this graph highlights is two things. Firstly, that DLA San Joaquin is in the perfect position to flow cargo outbound to the Pacific through Travis Air Force Base. As the Department of Defense's largest supplier of the Channel system, DLA's position to Travis Air Force Base is a significant cost savings to the Department of Defense. Whereas if cargo had to be trucked to McCord, there would be a lag in delivery time, as well as an increase in price of ground transportation for outbound channel cargo. Currently, depositioning aircraft from the Pacific are being flown into Travis Air Force Base to have the last of the pallets offloaded before depositioning to McCord Field, where many of the aircraft are from. The suggested course of action is to deposition the aircraft directly to McCord Field, and any cargo on board would then become part of the retrograde workload for McCord. Every aircraft depositioned in this way would be approximately a $37,000 fuel avoidance, with an additional increase in workload for McCord of approximately 30 tons per month per aircraft. Without the adjustment to channels, we recommend this as the primary course of action in order to increase workload at McCord while still maintaining maximum velocity as well as aircraft utilization on depositioning legs. Again, I am Captain Jonathan Welch, working at Headquarters AMC, A4TC, Air Cargo Movement Policy. This briefing is unclassified, and any questions you may have can be directed to Headquarters AMC, A4TC. This briefing was produced on March the 5th, 2017.